Hi everyone, my name is Simeon. I'm a biomedical science graduate and an incoming medical student at SGUL. I'm doing this video today on interview techniques because I know, UCAS deadlines is over. A lot of you guys should be getting your offers for interview right now, and I know some of you might be nervous or looking for tips and basically any help you can get on how to prepare for the interview. So in the UK, your medical school interview will either be an MMI, which is like different stations of different people asking you different questions and different scenarios. It can be in traditional panel one. So basically, when you're sat in front of, it could be a doctor, a nurse, a psychologist, or a few doctors or lecturers, and they'll just ask you questions and try and see why you're suitable for doing the course. So yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so my first tip for preparing for interview is definitely try and mentally prepare yourself and try and keep as calm and collected as possible. Basically, you must be good enough to be offered an interview in the first place. So they're not trying to catch you out. They're not trying to make you make a fool of yourself. They're just trying to kind of get to know more about you and if you'll be suitable for the course. So basically, just calm your nerves. You know, maybe the night before, sleep a bit earlier, have a big breakfast, and don't try to put too much pressure on yourself because at the end of the day, they've seen hundreds and hundreds of students who are probably just going to be as nervous as you are. So kind of just trust in your abilities and be as confident as you can going into the interview. Number two would be definitely research the institution that you're applying to or you're interviewing with, and maybe go through their website, speak to some people who have gone to the university already. When you let them know, you might learn some things on the website that you didn't know before about the university. And if you bring them up at the interview, it can make you seem, more keen on going to university and that you actually have an interest and you just haven't basically just applied to any random one you've seen. And I think this is like a favorable thing that, all these interviews look at that this person actually wants to come here and will try and do their best here. And it might even give you some inspiration for some questions you may want to ask, which is always good when you're asking questions in an interview. It definitely puts you in a good light. And yeah, it makes you seem like you're interested and will be more engaged when you get there. Number three, I'm sure some of you would have heard of this before when answering questions for just any interview, not just medical school interviews, but answering questions with the STARR star technique. So that will be S for situation, T for task, A for action, R for result, and another R for reflection. So this is basically just a method of, responding to any questions where they may ask you what you would do in this scenario, or do you know what I mean? If you have this skill. So you basically just speak about a situation that you may have been in, what you had to do, how did you respond to the situation, like what action did you take to, rectify if it wasn't a problem, or if you had to speak to someone, like what approach did you use? What was the result? Like when you did this action, what came out of it? It could be a positive result or a negative result. And whether it's positive or negative, you just reflect on, where I could have done better or whether I could have approached it a different way, or even reflect on, I realize I have this skill and I can apply this to a medical setting or a clinical setting. So using that technique is very good because it kind of just goes over all the points that they're kind of looking for from you. So if you use that to apply questions, I'm sure you will. It definitely helped me at my interview using that method. So I would definitely recommend you guys to use it as well. My number four would be definitely in terms of answering the question, don't try and waffle about and don't try and, make sure you answer the question directly and actually, go target what they're actually asking. So if they ask you about or what you do when, I don't know, maybe you see a patient out and about in the town, don't start talking about like how your cat was ill one time. Like just don't go on about random stuff. Answer the question directly. It's definitely better if you answer the question they ask you straight than just try and waffle on and speak about irrelevant things just to try and seem smart. So yeah, that would be definitely number four. Answer the question directly. Number five goes on to your method of answering the questions as well. I mean, if you're answering a question, make sure you reflect on all your past experiences, and it can be from anything from you working in retail, or maybe you taking care of your younger siblings at a young age. I think there's every situation where you can find some sort of transferable skill that will be useful as a doctor or as a medical professional. So it can be from anything. I remember for questions, I reflected on a time when I was working in retail, and obviously retail and working in a clinical setting are completely different. But I still spoke about how I had to have the quality of being patient with, customers that were acting difficult. And you can be in the same situation if you're, I don't know, say if you're a surgeon and, the family of one of your patients are really anxious or really, or acting really aggravated. You just have to have that sort of patience in both situations. So definitely, if you just go past like any of your past life events, and you can definitely find some skill or some attribute that you used in that situation to take away and put back in and use again. So yeah, that would be definitely one of the good ones. Another number 6 is another way that I felt made me feel a lot more prepared for my interview, is that I printed off my CV and I kind of just kept going over it so that I had a sense of what I felt were my key skills and all the things all my achievements that I thought would be, relevant to the interview. So I didn't feel like I was caught out by any questions, because I felt like, oh yeah, don't worry, I know everything that's on my CV already. I know all the things that I've done, all my past achievements, whether that's been, oh, I got so and so in my exams, or I was prefect at school, or anything of that sort. So it just makes you feel more ready to answer any questions, because you kind of have it at the top of your head, because you had gone through it the night before or the weeks before. So yeah, definitely go through your personal statement or your CV, like maybe read it a few times so that you're just prepared when they come to ask you any of these questions. Number 7 is definitely another important one that can be overlooked, is definitely dress well, look presentable, like definitely take care of your hygiene when you come to the interview. You don't want to be looking like scruffy or rugged or rough. You do want to look like you're a professional, like you look somebody that's responsible, that can put themselves together. Because at the end of the day, you will be presenting yourselves to patients. You will be becoming a professional, and you don't want to look like someone who just doesn't care. So that's definitely a very, very important thing, because I feel like if you go to an interview and your tie is the other way around, and your hair is like messy and you smell really bad, no one's going to take you very seriously. You're going to look like someone who doesn't really care, or who's not really too concerned about the whole process. So yeah, definitely look presentable. Make sure you look good. Make sure you look professional, neat and tidy. Number 7, another thing that really helped me was that I practiced with my friends or family. So I asked like some of my friends to ask me some questions, and I'd respond to them, or ask my mum to ask me some questions. And what this does is it kind of gets you into a rhythm of answering questions, or like you kind of have a method set in stone in your mind, so you're not too, when the day comes that you actually answer questions, you're like, oh, I've answered this already under pressure. Well, not so much under pressure, because obviously it's your friends and family, but you kind of know what you're doing already, and it just puts you more at ease when when it comes to the actual time. So yeah, definitely, if you have anyone you can ask, just ask them, hey, can you ask me these questions, and just ask, is there anything you add to that response? How am I answering it? I'm answering it in a confident and easy, like in a confident and well presented way. So definitely, that just comes under practice, and I'm sure you can go on the internet and find some questions or question banks that you can give your friends to ask you. So yeah, that would be a good idea as well. Number 8 and 9, I kind of put that together. One thing that also helped me, and is the reason why I'm doing this as well, is if you can go over any YouTube videos, and I know there are a lot up there already, and you can just kind of see all these people, how they'd answer questions, and you can give you kind of tips and ideas on how you'd want to frame your answers. And there's a wealth of videos. I might link up some of the ones that definitely really helped me, from a few people. I think Karma Medic and Ali Abdal, and yeah, a few other people that they have several videos of practice questions, whether it's MMI or whether it's whether it's a panel interview, and you can just kind of watch those videos, and you won't be shocked or surprised when you get to the day, because you'll be like, oh yeah, this is exactly like how they described it. And there are some, if you do have the money to spare, there are some courses that you can apply to or enroll in online, and these guys will kind of just coach you or do like an intensive course. Sorry about that. Or do an intensive course that will basically just prepare you more. So, there's no such thing. You can never be too prepared. So if you want to find out, I might link some of the courses that are available. I think some of them are quite good. Well, I didn't personally use any of those because I think that there's a lot of resources that are free on YouTube and stuff anyways. I know some of these courses might be free as well. If I do find some free ones, I might link them in the description. But yeah, just go on, see which ones that you feel like you get the best from. And you don't have to by any means. A lot of people still get into medical school without paying to do any courses. But if you do have the money to, or you do have the resources and the time and effort to kind of go through with that, yeah, I'd recommend it as well, because I think the more preparation that you do, the better off you'll be. So yeah, those are all the tips and helpful advice that I think I would have liked to have before I did my interview. Hopefully they'll help you out, and I wish you the best of luck in all your interviews if you do get them. Yeah, just don't be nervous, keep calm, and just know that you have the ability, or else you've made it this far already. You've got the result, you've got the grades, you've got the interview. It's literally just the final hurdle, and once you've gone past that, you're basically going to medical school. So yeah, I wish you all the best of luck again, and I will try and do another video in the near future. If you guys have any suggestions on anything that I can put up for you guys, yeah, that would be really appreciated. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.